for life tigers and bears in that he's the first animal and only animal that was literally dropped at our doorstep. So again, it was about a little over 4 years ago, and one of our contracted workers was coming in, and told Bobby, like, oh hey, there's some soft drink down by the gate. And she was like, what? And so she goes down there, and it was Eddie in there, and he was this itty bitty thing, and in really bad shape. Eddie, you're the most he might try to spray you when he does not. I was back at it. Well done. It just means he likes you. He wants to mark you as his own. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And so very quickly, so he almost flopped down on his back. He's probably going to show us something in a minute. So anyway, so we go down there, it's Eddie, and we've got cameras all over the property for safety reasons and things. And so when we went back to the video, we could see that some people have pulled up in the middle of the night, covered their license plate, hoodies, that sort of thing. So I'm not entirely sure how we figured out who they were, but through the prosecution process, that face he's making right there, you guys, some people think is like a stink face. It really is the opposite. What he's trying to do is he smells something he likes, and so he's trying to open his pores and his mouth so he can get more of it. So it's an anti-stink face. But anyway, so we learned his process, or his story. So he was being used for something called cub petting in Texas. And so there was this woman putting ads in the paper, like how play with the baby jaguar, get your picture taken with the baby jaguar. We do the bears we don't. Yeah, it's a little bit harder with the bears. Look at my big boy is just sitting here ready. Hello. Hello. Where are you going? He's like nowhere. As we're here, we're going to try to stay within this railing area. I'm going to put the fruit on there for you. You're going to want to touch this with handle. But the bear not a big deal, but it's a safety thing. You don't want your hands to go over. As you take pictures, perfectly fine. We just don't want to lean over the railing, things like that. So these are Himalayan black bears. This giant gentleman on my left is Teddy. And that's his little brother there on the right. That's Blue. Oh yeah, now you're on my left. What's happening? What is happening? So again, these are Himalayan black bears. They're sometimes called moon bears. You'll notice the beautiful light brown crescent across their chest. That's why they're called that. All right, so we're going to try to feed them at the same time so that they don't like get aggressive with each other. So we'll switch it up. We'll give them some oranges. Hi, buddy. And so now that he's got his paw up there, you might notice that these two guys are declawed on their front paws. Okay, ready?
What?
So they already caught on their front paws, which means they were probably used in cub petting or something like that. What you'll notice that'll do, though, is we can take a couple of oranges. We're going to do more. Is they eat the meat and spit out the runt. So if anybody else has a laminated key ticket and you want to feed a bear, looks like she is going to come over. She doesn't always. Come here, sweetheart girl. So again, this is Cherry Bomb as in our blonde bombshell. Again, you'll see that hump on her back, so she is a female grizzly. She's about 350 pounds, which is undersized for a female grizzly. So you might notice that she walks kind of with a very distinct swagger. She has been declawed on all four paws. So as I mentioned, it's so bad for the animal. They don't distribute their weight properly, and so that's why she kind of has that distinctive swagger. Again, so she was probably used in cub petting as well. She was also used in something called the Cherokee Bear Pit. So you'll see the poster there about the Cherokee Bear Park Zoo, which I think they use the term zoo very loosely. And the bear pit, it's a concrete pit. They put food in there, and then people pay to watch the bears fight for food. So knowing everything that she has been through in her life, she is the sweetest bear. As you can imagine, we do give her medication for her joints. You dropped it, honey. That one was you. She's a little bit of a piggy, I gotta be honest. I know, you're still beautiful, my darling. So this beautiful lady here, this is Nola. She was rescued from New Orleans, that's why her name is Nola. She was a cub, and there was someone, a wannabe rapper that was posting videos of himself abusing exotic animals online. And so when we got there, she was the only one that was left. And she was actually in such bad shape that the Audubon Zoo had to take her in for us for a bit. until we could get her to safely be able to survive the trip back to California. And so that's how we got Nola here. And then Mocha is the big orange male Bengal tiger that's in here that I don't see at the moment. So we'll just start feeding Nola. Again, I want to check. Anybody with a lemonade ticket that wants to feed Nola?
She's like, just feed.
Nope. She's like, just feed her. She's like, all right, all right. Here you go, sweetheart. So the male tiger that's in here, and like I said, they are spayed and neutered, so there's no hanky-panky with these guys. He was being smuggled across the U.S.-Mexico border, and when he was coming through customs, he got pulled into secondary, and I've been there, and they were like, sir, what is that in your passenger seat? He's like, it's just like a cat. They were like, yeah, I don't think so. And it was Mocha. Problems and things like that. And the reason for that, it's really hard to tell with their handling like that. She's like, why? Is because the facility that we rescued her from in Louisiana was intentionally breeding bigger and bigger lions together. And so Jillian there weighs probably somewhere between 450 and 500 pounds, which is way bigger than a lion would be in the wild. And so their bones and everything just cannot kept up with the breeding. And so eventually their back legs just kind of can't support their weight. So I'm not going to try too hard to get her attention. But that's sort of her story. And again, she's about 18 years old, and in captivity cats get to about 20. In the wild, it might be half that. So she's had a good run. We've had her since she was a cub, and have been able to bring her up with the best possible way for her. So, laminated feed ticket that's going to want to feed one of these tigers. This is where we have our feed tickets in my room. I see you up there, Zozo. Where's your sister at? Is she in her bedroom? Oh, she's over there on top of her. There's two tigers in here. The other one's on top of her den box over there. Oh, so tired. Oh, yeah. All right, the one that's on top there, that's actually Zoe. So how many of you remember that Tiger King show from 2020?
Yep.
Right? So Joe Exotic, that crazy dude, who is in jail, not for animal stuff, but other stuff. Oh, that's a good girl. So these two ladies were actually rescued from that facility. And again, just want to make sure nobody wants to feed here, has a lemonade ticket. Oh, she's like, feed me now. Oh, I know. We call these two our gossip girls because they are very vocal. Yes, you are. So we think that they're sisters. We're not entirely sure. You can see that they do look very much alike. I know. The one over there with the black mark on her nose, that's Jem. I know. And then the other one is Zoe. Here you go, you guys. Here you go. I know. So hard to be a tiger, I know. And so, if either of these two is the alpha, it's Jem there on the right, but not by much. And she is a little bit bigger than Zoe, but also not by much. And these two girls that we have recently started doing, or not that recently, but for a while they weren't really digesting their food. And so we were putting glitter on their food so we could see like different colors to see whose poo is whose, right? It's actually kind of cute for a while. And it turned out they were both having digestive problems. Come over here, silly goose. And so now we put something on their food called pancreatic enzyme compound, which helps them digest their food, but it's very specifically timed. And you might notice these like plastic rings that I've been feeding them through. The reason that we do that, you can see that they're very slimy. As I mentioned, the meat's kind of gross. And so we do that so that we used to feed them kind of wherever they happened to be, and so the entire fence got soaked in this meat juice, and our poor keepers had to power wash the entire fence. Now we can just take these rings off, wash them, sanitize them. The keepers can clean just that part of that fence, and it is a much more efficient process. So this handsome man, this is Onyx. He is a black leopard. People often think black panther, but he is technically a leopard. And in the right sunlight, you can kind of see some spots. But you will notice right over his right shoulder, he's got a really cute gray spot, even though he's just a youngin'. He's only like, I think maybe 12 or so. So he's kind of a little bit younger. One of our newer rescues, you can see his beautiful green eyes. He actually is new to this whole feeding process, so we're sort of testing him out to see how he's doing. And so far, you've been doing pretty good, buddy. I'll be honest. You've been pretty good. Pretty good. Here you go. That's a good boy. So that new habitat I was telling you about that was next to our jaguar down there that's not quite finished yet. We're anticipating that we're going to be putting onyx in there. But it kind of changes from week to week, so sometimes it's onyx, sometimes it's one of our other leopards. But so far, I think it's going to be him. I was talking about with Christmas with the animals, we put pine trees in their habitats. He loved his pine trees so much. All of the pine needles at the bottom of it, because he was circling and circling, just got all totally wiped off. All right, buddy. We're going to give you one more.
You said he's one of the newer rescues. How long has he been here?
I'm going to say less than 6 months. I don't know, Heather, do you know how, like, when we got onyx?
Yeah, maybe like a year, not
Less than a year, for sure. Yeah. All right, I'm going to give you, I'll give you one more little one. One more little one. He's only about 100 pounds or so, but he's pretty solid, so he's looking pretty good. Here you go, bud. Here you go. Good boy. Oh, you're just so gentle. Good boy. Yeah. All right. And I don't know a ton about him. We did get his having a week. You gotta go. So a liger is a male lion that's bred with a female tiger. So obviously something that would never happen in nature, like a lot of other things. Again, she's having a little bit of a wee over there. So you might notice she pretty much when she's actually going. Oh, you gotta go. So she has the body of a lion. And sort of some very light tiger markings, more noticeable sort of on her forehead there. But these two guys over here, and Ozzy's still a little bit wet from when he was in his pool. So Ozzy's very fascinated by Lyra going potty over there. He's like more interested in food though. He's a bit of a piggy. So Ozzy is a male Bengal tiger, and Millie is a white female Bengal tiger. So we started calling them Mocha Nola 2.0, right? The two big ones we had down there. You've got a more orange male and a white female, and that's these two here. Except that I'm pretty sure Ozzy's going to be the alpha of these two, because you'll see I'm going to feed them. He's going to put his paw up real quick. When they're done, he's going to walk over and bump her off like move, because he's kind of a brat. Yeah, he's already doing it. You're such a brat, Ozzy Bear. So these guys are about a little over a year old. She's about a month older than Ozzy, so they're about 13, 14 months. And so even though she's a month older, he outweighs her. So he's 250 pounds, and she's a little over 230 pounds. So, and we've only had them for less than a year. I love you too, buddy. I do. And so they gained well over 200 pounds in about a year. He was about 14 pounds when we got him. He was a little itty-bitty guy. He almost looked like a stuffed animal, like didn't look real. All right, here you go, you guys. Here you go, Ozzy, your piggy bear. There you go with your paw, I see. So when he puts his paws up, he is going to be a very big boy. And so when we were down at NOLA, I was telling you a little bit about how white tigers are bred. And the only way to get a white tiger is through inbreeding. So father-daughter, brother-sister, that sort of thing. And so every white tiger in captivity can be traced back to a single breeding pair from the 1950s. In the wild, you might see maybe 1 in 10,000 natural wild white tiger births, but there's less than 3,000 tigers in the wild, so you'll never see another natural-born white tiger. And you may have noticed it a little bit with NOLA, but one of the lasting things from inbreeding is they all go cross-eyed. So NOLA is a little bit cross-eyed. Millie, you can't really see it yet, but their optical nerves are wired crisscross. And so as they get older, like a lot of us, right, our muscles get weaker in our eyes. So the amount of cross-eyedness does get worse as they get older. There you go. There you go. Good job. I know, it's so